Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown 205 live results and also some G128 from New Japan Pro Wrestling results. Birthdays: July 31st, Kid Cash turned another year old. He was born 1969. August 1st, Devon Deadly. He was born 1972. Bunkhouse Buck. He was born 1950. Yoshi Tatsu. He was born 1977. No word yet of why Nia Jax was not on this week's Raw again, as she has not appeared on TV since losing the Raw Women's Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss at Extreme Rules pay-per-view on July 15th. Jax tweeted the following gifs at this link during the show, with the eye roll gif coming after WWE announced Ronda Rousey versus Alicia Fox for next week. Jax does not have a SummerSlam opponent as of yet, while Rousey will be facing Bliss for the title. And also, Rousey's in-ring debut on Raw against Alicia Fox next week. No word yet of what kind of injury Mickie James suffered from Raw, but Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss noted on last night Raw that her best friend is currently out of action because she's injured. Mickie wrote the following on Twitter and told fans that she will be back soon. At Mickie James, thanks for all the love, everyone. I'll be back soon. I'll tell you what, at Alexa Bliss _WWE, I couldn't have picked a better friend and ally myself than at Alicia Foxy. You both looked and did so amazing last night. Hashtag Foxy Lady. A Raw segment recorded as well by WWE Star on Backstage with Mike Kanellis on TV, as well as the fight from Bobby Roode and Mojo Rawley. You can find this link. And a comment from Real Mike Bennett on Twitter. A fight broke out in the locker room tonight, and I did what every responsible adult would do. I took out my phone and recorded it. Hashtag WB Raw, hashtag WB at WB. WB Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler was able to make it back to be with his son during his final moments. Jerry the King Lawler rushed back to Memphis from Raleigh, North Carolina, so he could be with his son. Lawler told Memphis Fox 13 News at Zach Crenshaw that he was glad to hold his son's hand when his heart stopped beating. Lawler also expressed his appreciation for the thousands of supportive messages his family has received since the tragedy. The Hardeman County Jail, where Christopher hung himself, is under investigation by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. Lawler spoke only briefly concerning the investigation, saying, "There may be more to this than meets the eye." Lawler said he could not comment further on the investigation because TBI investigators called him and requested that he not divulge any information until the investigation is complete. Visitation and funeral services for Christopher will take place on Friday at Hope Church in Memphis, Tennessee at 2 p.m. this coming Friday. Dave Meltzer note on Wrestling Observer Radio that Lesnar is scheduled to be at the August 13th Raw in Greensboro, North Carolina. The Greensboro Coliseum Complex will host a go-home Raw before SummerSlam. Heyman is also scheduled to be at the Raw in Greensboro as well. Angle came close to firing the Advocate this week on Raw, but Lesnar's last-minute appearance saved Heyman's job, although Lesnar assaulted Heyman as well. So, probably, and they had a poll on one of the dirt sheets asking the fans, do you think Brock will get any kind of retaliation? Meaning any suspensions or whatever? And 53% of the votes said no. The beautiful people, members, Angelina Love and Velvet Sky were recent guests on the Press Slam podcast and discussed their time and impact and various other topics. Love and Sky confirmed that they will be attending StarCast during the weekend of All In and started accepting bookings again as a team due to fan response. Although Angelina Love is still competing in the indies occasionally, Velvet Sky stated that she has retired from in-ring action. Moreover, she also shared her thoughts on the current WWE product. I am retired from in-ring action, but that doesn't mean that there's not a non-wrestling role for me in the beautiful people out there still. Said Velvet, Slammiversary was really, really good. The talent killed it. And I feel like a Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling, this is just my opinion. Like Ring of Honor or Impact Wrestling type of company is more my personal flavor than WWE. WWE is just not the same love that I once had of the company. So I feel like an Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor type of role would be more of my personal style of flavor. That's just me. Unquote. When asked if there could be anyone else to join the Beautiful People faction, they stated that although Madison Rayne and Cute Kip, Billy Gunn will always be with them, no one as far as new beautiful person will join, Sky said. She also added that they might have a beautiful person, lackey or gopher, but as far as an actual beautiful people character, it's just Angelina and I, said Sky. Sky then added that WWE would not be a good place for her right now because she does not want to be told what to do creatively, and she would not have the creative freedom she would have in Impact or Ring of Honor. She also said that she has no desire to go to WWE, and she knows that the feeling is mutual, but she is totally fine with that because she has accomplished everything that she has set out to do. Sky also stated why she feels WWE never signed her and Love. This is like the $1 million question. How come the beautiful people were never in the WWE, said Sky. Well, it's because WWE wanted to create their own version of what is already out there that they see that works. And the beautiful people, Angelina and I, would never want the beautiful people to be tainted or twisted or anything that I feel WWE would try to do to us if we were ever there. We would never be allowed to be the beautiful people. The entrance, forget it. We'd never be able to let the pigeons loose there. It wouldn't work there. And like I said, they've created their own version of the beautiful people, so they even knew that we weren't. Love stated that they are super protective of the gimmick because they know what works. And Sky chimed in and said that WWE knows what works too because they have recreated us twice already. When asked who WWE used to recreate them, Sky mentioned the team of Lay Cool and currently the Iconics. Back when we were still in TNA, it was Lay Cool, and now it's the Iconics, currently, says Sky. It's the same kind of mean, I'm better than you, the whispering, the pointing, the laughing, the humiliating, especially in the middle of our beautiful people's peak. It is when they created Lay Cool. They were kind of doing the similar antics, the humiliating, the girls, the heel roll. It's very flattering. I must say it's flattering that what we have is such a high demand that they tried to take the ball and gave it to the girls that there are there now. Sky stated the WWE versions of the beautiful people, which are toned down versions, in her opinion, is why they as a team were never brought into the company. End of her interview. Former UFC lightweight and featherweight champion Conor McGregor was sentenced for his involvement in the UFC 223 incident that sent several of his fellow fighters to the hospital. McGregor appeared once more inside the Kings County courthouse in Brooklyn on Thursday. And you see everything what he said there in that interview, what have you. All felony counts pressed against McGregor were dismissed, as he pled guilty to one count of disorderly conduct. Notorious will also be required to serve 5 days of community service, 1 to 3 days of anger management evaluation, and pay restitution for damages caused on the UFC fighter bus during the ordeal. I just want to say I'm thankful to the DA and the judge for allowing me to move forward, McGregor said in his statement. I want to say to my friends, family, my friends, thank you for your support. Thank you. Ray Borg and Michael Chisi, 2 of the fighters who were forced out of planned fights during that event, have a restraining order against McGregor until July of 2020. Cian Cowley, a teammate of McGregor who also was involved, pled guilty to 1 count of disorderly conduct. As for his fighting future, McGregor's manager, Audi Attar, told MMA Fighting that they want to get him inside the octagon in 2018. A potential fight with the lightweight champion, Khabib Nurmagomedov, has been rumored. I hope I pronounced the name right. I don't watch UFC. I want to say thank you to the court. Attar said in a statement, now that this has passed us, we can focus on things that we have been on hold for some time. Conor's been training, and he's in shape. He's ready to go. So now it's just about getting back to business. And we hope to have some news to announce very soon. End of the comments there. WWE has announced 3 new competitors for the Mae Young Classic. Former TNA Knockout Champion Madison Rayne, real name of Ashley Rayne, Priscilla Kelly, and Zia Brookside, daughter to WWE coach Robbie Brookside. The 2018 Mae Young Classic takes place in early August to air later this summer on the WWE Network. Finals will air on October 28th at the WWE Evolution pay-per-view. WWE now has 23 talents confirmed for the 32 women tournament. Rayne, Kelly, Brookside, Miko Satomura, Toni Storm, Isla Dawn, Zeuxis, Lacey Lane, Karen Q, Mia Kim, Killer Kelly, Mercedes Martinez, Kavita Devi, Caitlin, Io Shirai, Ray Ripley, Casey Catanzaro, Nicole Matthews, Jenny, Tegan Knox, Deanna Purrazzo, Jesse Elaban, and Reina Gonzalez. Crystal was previously announced but has been recently removed from the listing. WWE Intercontinental Champion Dolph Ziggler went at it with Sarah Tiana on Comedy Central Roast Battle this past weekend. There are 2 links for you. You can view whichever one you want. 205 Live superstar Mustafa Ali tweeted the following photo from the hospital early on Monday, but there's no word yet on what he was in for, and can be found at that link with a picture. And he commented on Twitter at Mustafa Ali WWE, fear not, I always kick out at 2, and he holds up the 2 sign. Results for NJPW, New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax Tournament continued today. Continued during the week, last week. Tournament ends on August the 12th. And here are tournament results from night 8. Taped on July 26th. Minoru Suzuki and Eli Desperado defeated Michael Elgin and Ren Narita. Evil Ibushi defeated Hangman Page and Chase Owens. Bad Luck Fale and Tonga Loa defeated Jay White and Yo after Loa pinned Yo. Yoshihashi and Sho defeated Kazuchika Okada and Geto after Sho pinned Geto with the shock arrow. B Block, Hiro Goto defeated Toru Yano with the GTR. And the link can be found there. Tetsuya Naito defeated Tama Tonga after hitting Tonga with the Destino. And that can be found here. Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Tomohiro Ishii. Can be found here. Kenny Omega defeated Juice Robinson with the V-Trigger. And that can be found here, action. Sonata defeated Kota Ibushi, and Sonata thanked the crowd after the match, which can be found in this link. Day 11, tournament, and updated Block A standings. Juice Robinson and David Finlay defeated Toa Hinair and Shota Umino. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa defeated Tomohiro Ishii and Sho. Tetsuya Naito and Sonata defeated Toru Yano and Geto. Kenny Omega and Chase Owens defeated Zack Sabre Jr. and Taka Michinoku. Kota Ibushi and Yujihiro Takahashi defeated Hiroki Goto and Yo. Togi Makabe versus Bad Luck Fale. 2 big lads try to power each other, both hitting strong forearm shots. Makabe never has beaten Fale. so he tried to cover his opponent almost every time he grabbed him. Eventually, Tonga Low had it up and pulled the ref out on those pin attempts. McCabe clobbered him for the troubles, but the numbers game was now in play. Bell hit McCabe over the head with his own steel chair for the 3 count. Fans not too happy, and disgruntled chants boo. And he has 3 wins, 3 losses. Jay White versus Hangman Page quickly descended into a ringside scuffle. However, Hangman held his own and even got a better play in the brawl-like setting until White dodged a shooting star press off the apron and took Page out with a Saito suplex, which took a lot out of the Bullet Club man. Switchblade targeted the back as he noticed his opponent was in trouble. Hangman had to dig deep to hit anything substantial, and if he did, either needed a second to recover or move just didn't have full impact. But that didn't stop him. He kept hitting White with everything he had, even putting it all on the line and hitting a moonsault to the outside off the top turnbuckle. But after going for a second one inside the ring, Jay White pushed him off, sending him back to first on the apron. White then tricked the ref into thinking he was going after Page with a chair, when in fact he had 2. He willingly gave up the first one to distract the ref as he smashed Heyman across the back with a second. However, the ref was on to him. When White went to use the chair later on, he was shouted at to put it down almost immediately. Then Page picked up the chair himself, and he got the same treatment from the ref. But he put the steel object down pretty quickly. However, that gave White enough time to recover. He reversed Page's attempt to hit the rite of passage. Taking advantage of his opponent's injured back, he flipped out of a move, swiftly delivered a low blow, switchblade to follow up with a blade runner for the 3 count. Which Jay White now has 4 wins, 2 losses, 8 points. Evil versus Minoru Suzuki. Suzuki went for Evil before the bell and immediately took the fight outside. However, Evil quickly got on top of things and brought the match straight back into the ring. There was a pattern emerging, as when Suzuki got back into things, he took matters right back to the outside, brawling in the audience, swinging steel chairs at his opponent, and Suzuki, gun leader, then left his opponent out in the wild, making him get back into the ring by his own violation. Back in the ring, Suzuki held control for a while, but just like earlier, Evil eventually got back into things, got back into a swing of momentum, until Suzuki found his target, going after Evil's right arm with an unforgiving relent. He then attempted an armbar. Evil quickly got to his feet on the ropes, but he wasn't going to escape, having the arm wrapped around the ring post and the chair thrown at it. This caused obvious damage, but also to wake up Evil, who finally gave in and more than happily swung chairs like baseball bats. Back into the ring once again, the match became a contest of who could hit their finisher. Both guys constantly finding more and more creative ways to escape the other's attempts, and same in regard to trying to hit their own. For example, Suzuki faking a chokehold and transition into the Gotch-style power driver, reversed, Evil goading Suzuki into throwing a forearm so he could duck and try to hit the STO. After multiple reversals and counters, Suzuki got the rhythm of catching Evil in the chokehold before trying anything. That wore Evil down over time and eventually paid off. Suzuki then reversed Evil's attempt at an STO into yet another chokehold before transitioning into the Gotch-style power driver and finally hitting the 1-2-3. Minoru Suzuki has 4 wins, 2 losses, 8 points. Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Yoshihashi. Yoshihashi was clearly worn down and hurt walking into the match. Tana seemed to take his opponent somewhat lightly. This allowed YH to get in more offense than otherwise would have, and in result, it took Tanahashi a little while to get into the match. Then when he did, he was a little labored, and Yoshihashi was able to ground him with big moves. However, similar to the rest of the G1 has gone, Yoshihashi's offense was never really strong enough to put Tana in real danger, working his opponent down without looking like he had enough to beat the ace. When Yoshi did try to hit something with a tad bit more impact, Tanahashi found a way to reverse. Went for Karma and Tana reversed it. One hell of a neck breaker Suddenly it seemed to wake Hashi up and came close with something strong offense targeted at Tanahashi's head. But it seemed to realize, he seemed to realize if it was any move was going to put his opponent away, it was going to be karma. The issue was Tana countered, blocked the move every time. This led to Tana getting back into the match, hitting swing blades by Yoshi, having enough to roll out of the trajectory of the high fly flow. He went for the butterfly lock on the downed opponent, but Tanahashi rolled him up for the 1-2-3. Tana was not at full pace. If anything, he just escaped that match. Tanahashi has 5 wins, 1 loss for 10 points. Michael Elgin versus Kazuchika Okada. Agility versus raw power in this match. Then to mix things up, Elgin showcased his own agility with suicide dives and slingshots. Okada was still quicker, but Elgin's power match with his athleticism gave the former IWGP heavyweight champion some real problems. As the match went on, Elgin seemed to grow into the match. Okada had started strong, but the Canadian's power became stronger and stronger factor. Elgin caught Okada's attempt at the Scooby-Doo crossbody, put the Rainmaker on his shoulders, and climbed the turnbuckles. However, Okada rolled out, tripping a sunset flip powerbomb to no avail, but was able to reverse whatever Elgin was going for into a flapjack, which was the story of the middle section of the match. Elgin was able to block a lot of offense and power out. However, he wasn't really able to hit anything of real significance. That was until Elgin started to incorporate his strikes and agility a bit more, blocking Okada before hitting those big moves. And Insecurity followed Elgin to hit a superplex from the top rope. Only gets a 2 count. However, Elgin started to find a rhythm, buckle bomb, soon followed by another close fall. Okada had to pull out an absolutely amazing drop kick to get back into the match. The match became more and more even, with both guys able to hit something big for a close fall before their opponent came back at them. Elgin then came the closest, catching Okada's drop kick into a sit-down powerbomb and rolling him up into a Splash Mountain Razor's Edge. Only gets a 2 count, though. Elgin then went for the Burning Hammer, but Okada flipped out and into a Tombstone. Nope. Reverse into a Tombstone of his own. From Elgin, nope. Reverse again. Tombstone from Okada, who then picked Elgin up immediately and hit a 360 Rainmaker before picking Elgin up once more for the Rainmaker. 1-2-3. Okada successfully found a way to his 4th win. So he has 4 wins, 2 losses for 8 points. Okay, results from the next day of the tournament. Block A standings. So you got, I'll go to day 9. I guess I'm going in reversal now. Michael, I think I already gave that one. Yep. Okay, day 10. Block B, round 5. Tama Tonga and Zack Sabre Jr. Zack Sabre Jr. was so strong between the ropes, so Tama Tonga decided to take the fight to the outside. Taka Michinoku helped even the numbers of the game, where the others have struggled this G1. But the sneaky Tama knows just when to strike when things descend into chaos. Tama Tonga was able to knock down ZSJ and Zack Sabre Jr. and kick him against the barricade. However, the match cannot be won outside, and when the action went back inside the ring, Sabre Jr. started to excel. The Englishman was just too quick for the Tongan, so no points for guessing what happened next. Taka's knocked down, referee's knocked down in steps. Tonga lower, and it's now 2 versus 1. Tama Tonga went for a gun stun, but Zack Sabre Jr. dodges and Tonga eats a finisher. Zack Sabre Jr. tried to take advantage, but Tama Tonga kept finding a way to slither out. Then Tama went for the gun stun and countered by Sabre Jr. into a painful looking submission. Sabre then cranked back the arm, then started to control it, and then the end was surely near for Tama, which was when bad luck failed, slid in and as stealthily as an elephant, stomping all over the place. He grabbed Zack Sabre Jr. by the neck, lifted him up, and drove him back down with a thumb. Once again, another DQ for Tama Tonga. Zack Sabre Jr. now has 3 wins, 2 losses. Only gets 6 points because by disqualification You don't get very many points. Juice Robinson and Toru Yano. Juice didn't trust that Yano was going to actually wrestle with the rules. Turns out he was right to do so. The flamboyant disco pirate seemed to have the better of cheeky Yano until the fight went to the outside and the trickster somehow found some tape. Who put that there? Knowing Toru was about to wrestle, he taped Robinson's arms into the barricade and swung a steel chair at the broken hand. Juice unwound the bandages and grimaced in pain. Back in the ring, Yano went back to his old tricks. Something must have lit under Juice. However, as the man started thinking one step ahead, Toru Yano went to swing a turnbuckle pad at Robinson, but the U.S. champion had a turnbuckle pad of his own. He blocked Yano's swing, and the turnbuckle pad battle commenced. Shortly afterwards, Robinson spun Yoro around and around in an airplane spin. The two groggily stumbled about until swinging at each other, completely missing and collapsing on the mat. Back to their feet, Yano tried to use his cheeky wits once again. He always whipped Juice towards the exposed turnbuckle. But knowing his opponent would be able to stop himself, Senior cheeky went for the low blow, but the referee stopped him, and Juice was able to get in control once again. Even Yano's sneaky roll up didn't work. Eventually, Juice got Yano set up for the Pulp Fiction unprettier. But Yano spun around, so he was in control. Then Juice spun back, then Yano, then Juice, Yano, Juice, Yano, Juice. Spinning around and around like a windmill until Robinson finally hit the Pulp Fiction for the 1-2-3, and Robinson finally on the board. 1 win, 4 losses. Gets 2 points. Tomohiro Ishii versus Kota Ibushi. Immediately as the bell rang, the two screamed and ran each other around with stiff lariats, kicks, forearms, headbutts, and what have you. Every one of them was seemingly blocked or dodged from a dead equal start. Then they both started throwing stiff shots at each other before Ishii won out and kept Ibushi on the ground with the delicate, loving headbutts of his. However, Ishii wanted Ibushi to bring it. He kept letting the Golden Star get to his feet and demanded the handsome man give him his best shot. No matter what Ibushi threw, it didn't seem to have enough of an effect as Ishii knocked him straight back down with a stiff as hell forearm. Ibushi needed to use his speed and athleticism to better Ishii. There was no way of matching him strength for strength. A drop kick, head scissors, golden triangle later, and Ibushi had control. So he took Ishii to the ground, all the way to a well-placed balcony. You know what this means? He got the crowd chanting and going wild and hit a picture-perfect moonsault off the balcony. One half of the Golden Lovers took his opponent back to the ring. Hit another drop kick and suplex, yet Ishii still kicked out at 2. Frustrated, Ibushi tried to hit some kicks on Ishii, but had already proven not to work as the Golden Star became frustrated again. As the Stone Pitbull politely asked for more, once again, Ibushi delivered a stiff kick to effect, and Ishii grounded him with a debilitating chop. Ishii suplexed his opponent from the top rope, but Ibushi immediately got to his feet. Ibushi then hit another suplex and was straight up again. Ibushi reversed and hit a German suplex of his own, and this time Ishii was straight to his feet. Ibushi broke Ishii's next attempt and hit a backflip kick before both just lay there on the mat. The two slowly get to their feet and once again started exchanging blows. However, this time Ibushi grounded his opponent with a deafening chop before the bald lad had any chance. Long dart launching Ishii to the corner. Ibushi was in control, but he got cocky and started goading his opponent with taunting kicks to the face. Ishii rose to his feet and slapped the spit out of Ibushi, who returned the favor and started slapping the hell out of each other. Ibushi won the battle and once again started to arrogantly kicking the head, inserting some stiff punches and strikes. For good measure, Ishii rose to his feet, one pissed man, throwing Ibushi into the corner and returned the favor, stomped and chopping the hell out of his Golden Star until Ibushi threw a closed fist chop at his throat. Some might call that a straight-up punch. And a second closed fist. Red Shoes told Ibushi to stop, so he pulled the ref and delivered a third with the official unable to see. Then a stiff lariat followed by a last ride resulted in a kick out at 2. Then Ibushi went to end the match with the Kamigoye, but Ishii countered with a headbutt to the stomach. The Stone Pit Bull maintained wrist control, started headbutting his opponent in the head, and Ibushi grounded him with a headbutt of his own. Straight jacket, German with a bridge, kick out at 2. Ibushi maintained wrist control. Once again went for the Kamigoye, but Ishii dodged, rolled through, and hit a stiff Kamigoye knee strike of his own. Ibushi was out. Ishii hit a last ride powerbomb of his own. Kicks out at 2. Then the Stone Pit Bull decapitated the Golden Star with a running lariat, and then another kick out at 2. The bald headbutting machine went to deliver a brain buster, but Ishii countered and one of his own. Ishii immediately stood up. Ibushi tried to kick him back down, but Ibushi kept blocking. He managed to rock the man, though, and hitting a running Kamigoye. 1 count, kick out. Utterly exasperated, Ibushi started slapping Ishii, who slapped back, and we ended another slap battle. However, Ibushi had enough and rocked Ishii with a throat chop and a stiff kick to the head. The opponent was down, and the Golden Star finally nailed the Kamigoye for the 1, 2, 3. In the words of Kevin Kelly, Jesus, what a war. Kota Ibushi now has 3 wins, 2 losses, 6 points. Hiroko Goto versus Tetsuya Naito. Goto started on top of things with the stiff kicks, keeping Naito grounded, but the Tranquilo one bought his time and struck at the right moments, resulting in a neckbreaker on the ring apron, followed by Goto getting thrown into the barricade. Naito stayed calm in the ring for pretty much of the entire count, but the momentum was now his. Naito continued to work neck head area, slowing the pace right down, wearing down Goto. Goto tried to get back into the match, but Naito had answers for everything. Even in it, Yushi Goroshi couldn't stall the LIG's leader momentum. Eventually, Naito decided it's time to end the match. He went for this Destino, but Goto countered into a reverse DTR. Goto finally had some momentum, but it wasn't enough as Naito once again went for the Destino. Goto countered again, but Naito was able to block Goto. Though after a quick back and forth, he hit a quick Destino 1-2 kick out. It was a fast Destino without much of an impact, but Goto kicked out of a Destino nonetheless. He, however, would not kick out of a second. Naito hit another Destino. Shortly afterwards, got the pinfall. Tetsuya Naito, that was 4 wins, 1 loss, 8 points. Kenny Omega versus Sonata. Omega kept Sonata grounded to the match before the start of the match. The Cold Skull had the athleticism to get out. And by the way, Sonata is the bone soldier. Omega equaled him and back down. The LIG member went. As Sonata got back into things after dodging a V-trigger and sending Omega to the outside. However, he then showed respect and held up the ropes for the champ to get back in. But it was Omega who took advantage and targeted Sonata's left leg. After Sonata's knee was an issue for the rest of the match, causing pain whenever it was used. The Cold Skull's offense was also weakened as he pushed through the pain. As the match progressed, that the knee created bigger and greater openings for Omega. With the injury, Omega had the chance to jump over the top rope to ground Sonata on the outside. Then later, he was able to catch Sonata's attempt at a springboard dropkick midair into a sit-down powerbomb. Omega then started nailing V-triggers, and Sonata was in real trouble. But whenever the Cold Skull fought his way out of his knees, stopped him from being able to put things away, he couldn't bridge after a dragon suplex. When he flipped out of a backdrop, he couldn't capitalize and finally went for the moonsault and athletically landed on his feet. He wasn't any better than if he landed flat on his stomach. Omega did capitalize, though, and nailed yet another V-trigger, then decided it was time to go for the win. He hoisted Sonata up for the one-winged angel, but his opponent slipped out and locked in the skull end. Omega was in real trouble, but Sonata didn't get it properly locked in, and Omega got out of it. Only to very quickly get caught again in the skull in submission. Sonata wrenched back, and Omega looked out which was when the Cold Skull went for the moonsault. Just like he did when he beat Ibushi. However, Omega rolled out of the way. They both slowly get to their feet, exchange strikes. Both guys getting in some strong shots. However, when both guys hit anything, it would get reversed, and I'd went for the backflip off the turnbuckle into the skull in. But Kenny reversed it and slammed him down. Big trigger to the back of the head. One-winged angel. Reverse with a reverse Rana by Sonata. And then dodged the wild lariat. Tried to flip over into the skull in. But Omega caught him in the fireman's carry. Then transitioned into one-winged angel for the 1-2-3. Perfect record remains for Omega. 5 wins, no losses. 10 points. Day 11. Matches for that. Juice Robinson and David Finlay defeated Toa Henare and Shota Umino. Tamatonga and Tamaloa defeated Tomohiro Ishii and Sho. Tetsuya Naito and Sonata defeated Toru Yano and Geto. Kenny Omega and Chase Owens defeated Zack Sabre Jr. and Takumi Shinuku. Kota Ibushi and Yoro Tanahashi defeated Hiroki Goto and Yo. Well, we go to a first for Up, Down, Down. The Miz, also known as the Moneymaker, Gamer, and Kofi Kingston, a.k.a. Mr. 24/7, face off in the first ever one-on-one basketball showdown. Will Kofi be gloating after his latest victory this year, or will Kingston find out he's made a huge mistake against the A-lister? Of course, was taped last week and can be found in this link. Dark match before SmackDown in Tampa, Florida, saw Raw superstars compete. Hometown star Titus O'Neil defeating Mike Kanellis. SmackDown opened up from the O'Malley Arena in Tampa, Florida, as Tom Phillips welcomes us. He's joined in by Byron Saxton and Corey Graves. We go right to the ring. Renee Young is waiting with a microphone. She introduces number 1 contender, Becky Lynch, and out she comes to a pop. Becky talks about SmackDown Women's title and how she fought hard to get back to where she's at. She says she will do what it takes against Carmella at SummerSlam, and it will be her honor to go into WWE Evolution as SmackDown Women's Champion. Music interrupts. Out comes current champion Carmella. Carmella tells Becky to hold up. This isn't what we think. Fans boo her. Carmella says normally she will come out and make an excuse for why she lost last week, but that's not the case. Some fans chant, "We want Ellsworth," after Carmella mentions James Ellsworth getting fired last week. She enters the ring and gives Becky props for her non-title win last week. She talks about how special it is for them to be working all women's evolution event in October. Carmella says she feels like she's failed as a representative of the division, as they should be building each other up, not tearing each other down. Carmella says this comes from a place of jealousy because Becky has always been a step ahead of her. Carmella gets emotional when recalling how people in WWE NXT told her she'd never be more than a manager. She says Becky was killing it and gave her advice, something that she will never forget. Carmella goes on and with praise for Becky, and fans start chanting Becky's name. Carmella talks about her own journey and says now most of the WWE universe doesn't even think she deserves to be champion. She cries when talking about her haters on social media, who says she sucks every day. Carmella goes on and says she could be more excited to go into SummerSlam against Becky and to tear the house down with her. Carmella knows they will prove everyone wrong because they're going to kill it. Carmella just wants to tell Becky good luck. Carmella extends her hand for a shake, but the music interrupts. Out comes Ellsworth, who is supposed to be fired. I missed that segment. Myself, Ellsworth never appeared, and Carmella takes advantage of the distraction to drop Becky from behind. Carmella delivered a big kick next. Carmella then brings a steel chair in the ring and goes to drop Becky onto it, but the music hits. Out comes Charlotte Flair. Returning to make the save for Becky, Flair blocks the chair shot and drops Carmella, sending her out of the ring. Flair checks on Becky as Carmella grabs her title and retreats. Flair stands up and points at her. Flair and Becky talk as Carmella heads to the back. Still to come segment, Samoa Joe delivers a personal message to AJ Styles. Also, Jeff Hardy returns to confront Randy Orton. Usos backstage with words for the bar. We go to commercial. Back for the break. SmackDown General Manager Paige is backstage when Carmella comes in and complaining about Charlotte Flair. Paige says Carmella should be ashamed of herself for what she did out there. Carmella disses Paige and says that she's something Paige will never be again, champion. Paige says she's going to teach Carmella how to be a real champ because real champs overcome odds and don't complain about it. Paige announces Flair versus Carmella for tonight, and if Flair wins, the match at SummerSlam is now will become a triple threat. Paige tells Carmella to get ready for the match, and she leaves without saying anything. SmackDown Tag Team Tournament match, Usos versus Bar. We go to the ring. Out comes the Usos. The winner of this match will face the New Day to determine who faces SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Bludgeon Brothers, at SummerSlam. Out next comes the Bar. New Day was out next for commentary. Biggie, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods take seats at their own colorful announce table, which is full of pancakes. And in the boxes of pancakes too. Used to be bootios, but now they're booty cakes. Hey, WWE, don't steal my line there. I said booty cakes. Jey Uso starts off with Sheamus, and they go at it as we take an early commercial break. Back for the break, Cesaro covers Jey for a 2 count. Cesaro keeps control and stops Jey from tagging. Sheamus comes in with another pin attempt. Sheamus hits the ropes and drops a knee. Sheamus delivers more offense before keeping Jey grounded in the middle of the ring now. Sheamus with the knees to the ribs while keeping Jey down. Sheamus drives Jey back into the mat as Jimmy tries to rally the crowd. Jey fights up and out of the hole. Sheamus stops him with a knee. Jey slides out of a suplex attempt. Sheamus charges, but Jey moves, and Sheamus hits the ring post in the corner. Cesaro and Jimmy tag in at the same time. Jimmy unloads and catches Cesaro with a Samoan drop for a close 2 count. Jey with an insecurity to the face. Jimmy gets hyped up in the corner and runs for the splash, but Cesaro rolls to the floor. Jimmy launches himself over the top and takes out Sheamus as he put himself in the way to save Cesaro. They bring it back in the ring, and Jimmy hits a crossbody on Cesaro, gets a 2 count. Cesaro ends up rocking Jimmy with an elbow to the jaw as he goes to the top. Cesaro shoves Uso for the top and falls hard to the floor. We go to commercial. Back for the break, the Bar is trying to hit a double suplex on Jimmy up top. Jey pushes Sheamus off from the outside. Jimmy sends Cesaro to the mat with a big move, but they both land hard. Jimmy and Cesaro both go at it. Cesaro blocks a shot, and in comes Sheamus off the tag. They go to double team Jimmy, but Jey super kicks Cesaro. Jimmy with a 2 count on Sheamus. Jimmy super kicks Sheamus to the mat. Jey tags in, hits a big superfly splash on Sheamus from the top, but Cesaro breaks up the pin just in time. Cesaro gets dumped over the top by Jey. Jimmy tags in, and both Usos go to the top with opposite corners. Cesaro nails an uppercut to Jey as he leaps from the top. Jimmy comes flying off the top, but Sheamus blocks it and rolls him up for the win. I was thinking myself that as I seen both Usos on the top rope, I was thinking as they showed Cesaro outside near the announce table, he looked back and just sat there. And you didn't see him for a while, so you know he was going to come back in. After the match, the Bar stand tall in the ring as we go to replays. They turn their attention to the New Day at ringside. New Day gets up, enters the ring. New Day versus the Bar is confirmed for next week. The two teams face off in the ring and trash talk. It's a fan chant for New Day. The Bar exits the ring and backs up the ramp as the New Day's music starts up. Still to come, Daniel Bryan will be here live. We see The Miz throwing the baby doll at Bryan from last week's show. Bryan will address the underhanded tactics tonight. Also, Zelina Vega's main roster in-ring debut against Lana. We see Renee Young backstage with Charlotte, asking her about possibly getting the title shot at SummerSlam. Flair says she was here just to help her best friend Becky. But now she has this golden opportunity, and thanks to Carmella. Flair says she didn't even expect to be at SummerSlam, especially not in her title match. Flair hasn't forgotten her losses to Carmella, but she says the Queen is back, ready to reclaim her throne, and does the woo to end the segment. Announcers show us Samoa Joe putting AJ Styles to sleep after the contract signing last week. Joe will be here to deliver a personal message to AJ tonight. Back to commercial. Back for the break, out comes Samoa Joe. Joe addresses WWE Champion AJ Styles and says that what he did last week was to send a message. Joe hopes there are no hard feelings. He says he respects AJ. He respects the house that AJ built and the face that AJ made, while the fact that AJ made the WWE title the most prestigious title in WWE. Joe also respects AJ's grind and the sacrifice he's made to get where he is. Joe then says AJ puts the title before everything, including his friends and his own family. Joe goes on about AJ is a bad father and a bad husband, calling him a failure. He even talks about his own daughter and about the women's evolution. Joe says he's coming for AJ and he's going to take everything from him. Joe says at SummerSlam, when the world is cheering AJ on, AJ's family will be cheering Joe on because when Joe is done, AJ's wife and kids will have their daddy back. But Joe will be WWE champion. Joe drops the mics and walks off as his music hits. We see recent happenings between Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy. Hardy is backstage working on his face paint and will return tonight to confront Orton. Back to commercial. Well, he hasn't missed a week. The last 2 to 3 weeks. Back for the break. Out comes Jeff Hardy to the ring. Fan chant Hardy's name as he takes the microphone. Hardy talks about how important the WWE US title is to him. It's a part of his life force. It's his fifth eye. That elevates him and keeps him connected to the WWE Universe and more. Hardy says a piece of him was severed away when he lost the title, and nothing is more important than beating Shinsuke Nakamura to take the title back, but one thing comes close. Beating the hell out of Randy Orton. Hardy says that's exactly why he's out here tonight, to call out Orton to the ring for a fight. Music hit, out comes Orton. Hardy readies for a fight, but Orton is careful to enter the ring. Nakamura comes from behind and drops Hardy with a kick to the head. Nakamura attacks Hardy and goes for Kasasha, but Orton gets in the way momentarily. Nakamura and Orton face off now. Orton backs Nakamura into a corner, and Nakamura looks like he's going to kiss him. Orton looks back at Hardy and then back at Nakamura, nodding for the approval for Nakamura to attack. Nakamura delivers a Kasasha as Hardy tries to get up. Nakamura and Orton trade looks again as Nakamura exits the ring to boos. Orton turns his attention back to Hardy and plays to the crowd for some moves. Orton drops to the mat, ready for his RKO style move, but Orton just takes Hardy's legs out instead, making it clear he had him if he wanted. Orton starts stomping on Hardy while he's down, doing the garbage stomp. Hardy yells in pain as Orton grabs him from the apron. Orton nails a second rope draping DDT next. Orton goes to the floor, hits another draping DDT from the ring apron to the floor. This time, Orton takes apart the announce table now. Orton places Hardy on top of the announce table and beats him a while until the referee tries to get him back off. Orton rips off some of Hardy's accessories and rips open his shirt and his armband and what have you. Also taking his necklace off, putting it in his pocket of his vest. Took it back out, looked at it a couple times. Graves says Orton is stripping away Hardy's identity. Orton pours a bottle of water on Hardy that he got from the timekeeper's area and the ring bell as Orton talks trash and he wipes Hardy's face paint off the boos as the boos continue. Orton finally backs off and the referees order him to go back. We go to commercial as Hardy recovers on the announce table. Back for the break, Renee Young stops Becky Lynch from outside her locker room, asking about Charlotte Flair's return. Becky says she's happy to have Flair back, but she's not so thrilled about the possible triple threat at SummerSlam. Becky talks about working hard to get back to the top and says she knows that she can beat Carmella by herself or anyone. Renee asks about Flair versus Carmella for tonight, and Becky says she never bets against her best friend. Then we get Lana versus Zelina Vega. We go to ring out. First comes Lana. And see what happened during Rusev versus Andre Cien Almas last week. Lana looks on from the ring as Zelina makes her way out for her main roster in-ring debut. Almas accompanies her to the ring. Tom Rusev is not out here because Lana has given him the professional space that he asked for last week. Tom says Rusev. Well, the bell rings and Vega dodges the lockup, then goes right back to the mat to pose. Taunting Lana. Lana does some sort of handstand split back at her. They go at it and Lana mounts Vega with strikes. Vega goes to the floor for a breather with Almas. Lana talks trash from the ring as we go back to commercial. I took a commercial break in the bathroom. Back from the break, Vega turns around on Lana, keeping her grounded on the mat. Fans chant Lana's name as she fights back. Vega drops her again. They tangle some more as Lana rams Vega back into the corner. Vega ends up dropping Lana in the corner and delivering a double knees like Almas. Even the announcer said, that's just like Almas. Vega covers for a 2 count. Lana finally gets some momentum going after turning it around. Lana unloads on Vega with lots of offense. Lana shows off some and hits a double knee to the back of the neck for a close 2 count. Lana then with a back elbow in the corner. Vega whips Lana into another corner, but Lana drops her when she charges. Almost gets on the apron for a distraction, but it doesn't work. As Lana keeps control, he tries again, but Aiden English runs down and knocks him off the apron. This backfires as Vega rolls up a distracted Lana for the win. After the bell, Aiden looks shocked as Vega and almost head up the ramp. Lana recovers and she's not happy. Vega is all smiles as she looks on from the stage. Tom Phillips confirms the New Day versus Bar in the number 1 contenders match for next week. SmackDown Tag Team Champions and Bludgeon Brothers are backstage. Rowan and Harper cut promos on both teams and says it doesn't matter who wins, as no one will win at SummerSlam because no one can escape the bludgeoning. We go to the ring. Out comes Daniel Bryan to a big pop. He's here to address The Miz and last week's underhanded tactics. Back to commercial. Back for the break, Aiden English approaches Lana backstage. He apologizes for what happened, but she doesn't want to hear it. He says he was just trying to do what's right. English says he knows Rusev has this thing about space right now, but he was trying to help her. Lana still doesn't want to hear it and suggests English leave her alone. We hear Rusev coming through the back, yelling in English. English escapes out of the way, saying he wants to talk to him. English leaves before Rusev gets on screen, promising Lana what happened was an accident. Rusev asks Lana if she's all right and says this would have not happened if he were out there. Lana isn't trying to hear this either. She knows Rusev has to figure out what he wants to do with Rusev Day. What he needs, that he needs this face right now, what she needed him tonight, could have really used him out there as Lana storms off. We go back to the ring. Daniel Bryan has a mic. Bryan talks about last week's WWE Evolution announcement and how it got him thinking about the women's division and how proud he is of his wife, Brie Bella. Bryan says every time something good happens, it feels like they take two steps forward, 3 steps back. He shows us what he's talking about with a replay of last week's fake baby toss from The Miz and Maurice. Bryan says watching that bothers him, and here's why. Because for 2 years, Miz taunted him, baited him, antagonized him, because he had a protection wall built due to Bryan being unable to compete. Miz thought he could say what he wanted and remain safe, but then Bryan got cleared. Bryan goes on about Miz and says he would destroy Miz if they ever got in a fair fight. Bryan calls Miz to the ring for a fight to prove him wrong. Miz appears on a big screen with 2 security guards. Miz goes on about how he's an elite talent and says Bryan needs to earn a match with him. Bryan says he's currently away on set for Miz and Mrs. But we all know that first season of Miz and Mrs. has already been taped. He brags about the success of the premiere and plugs tonight's 2nd episode. Bryan isn't buying the talk from Miz and says this whole on-set thing is just Miz hiding from him and proves what he's been saying all along. Miz is a coward. Miz reminds Bryan of the last time he called him a coward, the infamous Talking Smack showdown from last year, where Bryan walked off the set. Miz going on ranting at Bryan and says he has been carrying Bryan on his back ever since WWE NXT rookie days. Bryan says that the difference between them, this is about the passion to Bryan and it's about the fame to Miz. Bryan says he hates to break it up, but the whole superstar turned TV star has already been done before and a lot better. Bryan says the Miz will never be The Rock or John Cena, and he will never be remembered as a great superstar because he's too soft. Not SWSAWFT. But Bryan says, but if Miz needs a big stage, then he should talk to his agent and come fight Bryan one-on-one SummerSlam. Miz says the cycle continues, and he's tired of Bryan riding his coattails. Miz says the Yes Movement is over. Team Hell No is over. Everything else Bryan had going is over. Miz says that the fans have moved on, and now Bryan needs to do the same. Miz suggests Bryan just let his contract expire and go back to entertaining the crowd in a high school gym. Miz says all the fans see when they look at Bryan and is this. He has a bunch of crying babies displayed on the screen. One, and then another, and another one fills up the screen with multiple babies crying. Miz returns to the screen and mocks Bryan for being a crybaby. Bryan looks on and as the screen fades to black. Still to come segment, Flair versus Carmella. With SummerSlam implications, we go back to commercial. Back for the break, Tom says WWE Champion AJ Styles will be back next week. Charlotte Flair versus Carmella, as AJ Styles is doing live events, but not for TV. We go to ring outcome Charlotte for tonight's main event. Flair will be added to SmackDown title match to make it triple threat if she wins this non-title match. We cut to backstage with Renee and Carmella. Carmella mentions how she really wants to face Becky alone at SummerSlam because she knows she can beat her, and how she knows that Becky is really rooting against Flair tonight. Out next comes Carmella to the ring. The bell rings and they go at it. We see Becky backstage watching the match. They go back and forth to start, trading holds. Flair sends Carmella down and shows off some. We get a quick 2 count before Flair tosses Carmella over her head. They go to the floor. Carmella sends Flair into the ring apron, then launches her into the barrier. Carmella stands tall on the outside as we return to commercial. Back for the break, and Flair is unloading in the ring with chops. Carmella goes down. Flair with a belly to back suplex. Flair goes to the top for the moonsault, but Carmella gets her boots up, hitting Flair in the jaw. Carmella then tosses Flair to the floor, runs her mouth as the referee starts counting. Flair tries to return to the ring. Carmella kicks her back down. Breaking the count, Carmella comes out, and they both miss boots and kicks. Carmella counters and sends Flair into the barrier. Carmella tosses Flair over to Timekeeper's area and returns to the ring. The referee starts counting again. Flair makes it back into the ring just in time before Carmella starts completely pounding on her. Flair kicks out at 2. We see Becky backstage watching on the monitor. Carmella kicks Flair grounded in the middle of the ring. Again, Carmella takes Flair back to the corner and aggressively beats her down. Carmella with a kick to the face, but Flair comes right back with a big boot. Dropping Carmella for a 2 count. Flair looks to show some frustration. Flair with a roll up for 2 count. Flair tries to figure 4, but Carmella gets to the bottom rope, goes to the floor for a breather. Flair kicks Carmella from behind, from the ring, and she goes down. Flair stands on the barrier, hits a moonsault to take Carmella back down on the floor. Well, Carmella was out of position for the actual move, but Carmella stepped back into the way to take the move. Flair brings her back into the ring and hits the national selection for a 2 count. As we see Becky watching backstage again. Flair goes for another figure 4 attempt. After a spear attempt, Carmella rolls to the floor and drops her with a big boot. Carmella with another close 2 count. Flair goes for a figure 4 again and gets a figure 8 locked in. After an attempt from a figure 4 from Carmella. As it was countered, reversed, and she gets a figure 8 locked in. Carmella tapped out within like 15 seconds of the move. Flair is going to SummerSlam for the triple threat. After the match, Becky's backstage again, not happy. Flair celebrates for the win as the music hits, and now she's confirmed the triple threat for SummerSlam. Carmella recovers on the floor, and she's also not happy. We go to replays. Flair continues her celebration and watches as Becky watches from backstage, and SmackDown goes off the air.